with Cincinnati? That's their headquarters?
Yes, Procter & Gamble is the parent company, and they're based in Cincinnati. So we're encouraging people to write letters to them as well.
Hey, thank you very much, sir. We'll do it again, and we'll talk to you later about that book, too.
All right. Thanks, Chuck. Have a great day.
Thank you. Right now, I want to go to Elizabeth B. Letchworth. Now, she has done something that I think you, the listener, whether you're a Republican, Democrat, Independent, this might be good for you because she's created a brand new .com, and let's bring her on and talk about it. Elizabeth, how you doing there?
I'm doing well, Chuck. How are you all?
I am doing just fine. Now, listen, you came up with gradegov.com, and you said, hey, let's let the little people out here grade members of Congress.
Absolutely. It seemed to me to be a real simple way because everybody kind of remembers what it was like to get grades in school. For the public to be able to send messages in a clear, concise way to their member of Congress or maybe someone else they just heard about and let them know how they're doing. And everybody could sort of understand the system. That was sort of the idea behind it.
Well, you know, there are organizations where, you know, you can send faxes, stuff like that, which is very good. You get an alert, and then you send a fax, and you notify them. The number one that I use is Numbers USA. But basically what you do, as I understand, all right, you go to gradegov.com, and you've got it broken down where you can go alphabetically. You can find your representative in Congress. And then I'm not sure how it goes from there because yesterday I had very little time, but I was in the site, and I was looking for Barbara Boxer, but I couldn't find her for some reason, Elizabeth. And would she be on that list by any chance?
Absolutely. All 100 United States senators and the 435 members of the House are on the site. The easiest way is just start typing the member of Congress's name in the find box in the homepage,
there you go.
And up will pop Senator Boxer's page, and you can see how long she's been in Congress, when is she next up. You can read letters from her constituents. Those are the first letters that show up, and then if you click all, you'll
let me ask you this,
are these
letters that your people have written, or is this letters that she's posted on her web, or what letters are we talking about?
These are letters that you can follow up and post once you grade. Once you grade the member of Congress, and you simply hover over the A, B, C, D, or F, and it will change color, and then the site is going to prompt you and ask you, do you want to send a letter? And it basically auto-generates up to, Dear Senator Boxer, I gave you, I don't know, a C today, and you finish the rest of it. Do a simple math problem to make sure you're not a computer, that you're a human being, and then click, and you've just graded and written a letter to Senator Boxer.
Now, here's something that I'm sure you've heard since you came up with this gradegov.com. You are hearing people say, you know what, they're not gonna pay attention to it. If they see anything less than an A or B, they're going to ignore it.
I have heard that. Yes, you're exactly right. I have heard that, and I would say to those that are saying that, especially those members of Congress, that's not a smart thing to do, and I'll be real honest with you. GradeGov is basically a people's website. I have nothing to do with it other than to pay the bills. It's just a database, and it has been correct 100% of the time as far as all of these primaries are concerned, except for Blanche Lincoln. It has predicted every one of them correct as of now.
Now, Blanche Lincoln is the one that the Union wasted about $10 million on advertising, I think, right?
That's correct. She was trying to win the ability to run again in the Senate in Arkansas in the Democratic primary, and she had to have a runoff. You're right, and the unions did spend a lot of money trying to unseat her, and they didn't. Now, you can look on GradeGov at Lincoln and her opponent, Congressman Boozman, and find out what you think GradeGov is saying as far as who would win and maybe use that as a test. But you can also check any member of Congress out that you want. Chuck, you are limited to one time a day. I do want to let the folks know that.
Okay.
That way you can't.
So you got to pick which critter you're going to pick on that day.
Exactly.
Very selective. All right.
Exactly.
That's very good though, because that will prevent this mass resend, it's like whenever people take polls, they've got to fix it so you can only vote one time. So, yeah, that's very good.
Well, it lets Congress know it belongs to the people and, as you said, not an organization that has an agenda. And I will say this. GradeGov ties all of the grades and the emails to personal email accounts in all 535 members of Congress. It doesn't dump you in the House or the Senate email system or the fax system or the phone system. Those are all computer generated, which I'm sure you've probably found out.
I got to ask you, because this thing it sounds like it's working so good and it's set up so well. This takes a lot of effort. So here's the thing. Do you have advertising on gradegov.com to support this, or how are you going to afford to keep this thing running? Because this sounds very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Because I'm not a computer-savvy person, I find it very,
Well, it did take some money to start up, and it does obviously have a little bit of a hefty price tag to run each month. I'm leery about advertising because I really don't want the site to get a Republican leaning or a Democrat leaning for obvious reasons. And again, because I can't.
So you don't want any ads from BP Oil?
That's correct. At least not right now.
Yes.
So
how are you supporting it? Yes.
Beg your pardon?
How are you supporting this?
Well, I'm not supporting it right now. I mean, my savings account is supporting it right now, but I'm hoping it will ultimately make money in other ways. For example, if candidates want to buy the ability to show their incumbents page on GradeGov, they can do that at a cost and stick that on their homepage of their website. That kind of thing I'm trying to work up to get a little revenue
going.
That would work,
I know we really didn't plan on doing this, but then I just started thinking, boy, this thing is set up so well, and I especially like it whenever, you're only allowed to do it once a day. That's the good news in my opinion. Now, I want to tell the listeners, that this is absolutely free, very quick. It's an easy website, and it's basically, you get a chance to say, hey, this man or this woman is not doing what I want him to do, or on the opposite side, you want to say, I'm going to give you an A, because let's say you're against the health care, or you're for the health care, or you're against illegal aliens, or you like illegal aliens. It's your chance to let your representative know. And as far as you know, Elizabeth, they are paying attention to this website when it comes into them, right?
They are. I do know that I hear from a handful of members of Congress on it, but I have probably heard from a quarter of them, and I'm not gonna be dishonest and say they all love it. I think a lot of them are sort of mumbling under their breath. They wish this would go away, but it's there, so they have to give it its due, I guess I should say. And again,
what you should do is, we're coming up on a break here, but what you should do is tell each one of these members of Congress, say, these are the people, and if you forgot how you spell people, it's V-O-T-E-R-S. All right. We're going to continue in just a moment. Elizabeth B. Letchworth, I'll get it, talking about her creation. It's called gradegov.com. Also going to talk about a book that she's got coming up here in just a moment. So let's take a break.
Who's watching your home when you're not there? It could be a burglar.